Holy moly. Whoa, sorry about that. Caught me off guard. If you guys are back here again, thank you guys for joining me on another video. As the title of this video says, does size really matter? I don't know. That's what she said. If this is your first time finding this channel, thank you guys very much. Please consider subscribing if you find some of the information you're about to see in here useful. Those of you coming back, welcome back. Again, let's get right into the video. I want to talk a little bit about, does size really matter when it comes to firearms? Let's jump right into it. You know, here on what I have on the table here, I have two things here for reference. And first I'm gonna show you that they are clear and we are dealing with empty firearms. So first I have the Ruger LCP2 chambered in 380. This little firearm here is, I wanna say probably about 3 to 4 inches, less than a pound, small, even with fully loaded, which takes only 6 rounds, very lightweight. On the other hand, I do have here a Glock 22 chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson. In itself, it's probably about 1.5 pounds of weight. It is a heavier gun, loaded up. If I had this with, how many rounds does this have? You guys can tell there. If I had all of this loaded, we're talking a little closer to 2 pounds. Now, is it a big difference, or, you know, is it something that, you know, one versus the other is wrong? I don't know. We'll talk a little bit about it. So this one, the smaller one, 380, right? It's a round. It's a pretty decent round. Back in the 80s and 70s, this round was probably like a 9 mil. A lot of people carried a 380. There was a lot of guns that were made in 380. It's smaller round. It was a little bit more felt recoil because most of those guns were smaller. When I think about some of the ones that were back in the day, you can talk about the Beretta Cheetahs. You had your Walter. I think it's the PPK that was in 380. You had a couple other firearms, a lot of imported firearms that were chambered in this, and it was a very popular round. Now it's more of like a concealed carry type one. I want to say some people, you know, synonymous to putting this with a lot of females carrying the 380, but I love this round. The reason why I like it and the way I like this particular firearm is this is a lot of my like summer rotation. This in its little holster. Not this one, in the holster that it comes with, you can put this in your pocket and you wouldn't even know the wiser that it was in your pocket. You can have it 6 rounds, 7 rounds, or 8 rounds, and they actually have a new version of this, which is called the LCP Max, which actually holds 10, if I'm not mistaken, 10 or 12 rounds of 380, which for this size is incredible, and it doesn't even change the weight. Only when it's loaded, it would change the weight, but the gun itself stays the same. I like the fact that it's small, it's discreet. Again, like I said, you can put it in your pocket and it's out of the way. It can get you out of a hurry. It can get you out of a scenario that you don't really want to be in. So it has the stopping power, and it has the ability to protect you and defend you in a case like that. Glock 22, right? Chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson, or a bigger one. So there's some that are chambered in 10 mil, chambered in 45. This is a full-size gun. I mean, probably 2 of these are the size of this one. Round capacity, about 15. You can get extended magazines, which make it more. Rounds are definitely more recoil, more power. Can definitely stop an assailant or whatever scenario that you're put in the way that you needed to pull this. This is something a little harder to conceal. If you're going to put this on your person, you got to be a bigger person. I mean, you can be a small person and put this on there. It all depends on your size and fit and what kind of holster you're putting on this. But this can definitely be concealed. It's just a little tougher, you know, having to carry on something that's almost 2 pounds versus something that's less than a pound. You know, much easier for this. Round capacity, of course, this one, even the newer one, about 10 or 12. That's still several rounds less than this one out of the box. You know, stopping power, we talked about it, right? But, you know, here is really, you know, where your training comes in. If your shots on target are very effective, what do you need? 1, 2 rounds. If your, you know, training is poor and you got 15 rounds of this, can you mitigate that recoil and put your shots on target? So it's, you know, it's that balance of, you know, what are you going to be doing with the firearm? I think there's a lot of pros to making sure that you can always have this discreet. Manual of arms is pretty much the same, you know, racking the slide. I do think that sometimes on this, it is smaller. You have less room to be working with. So some people find it harder to rack some of these smaller slides. There's not a lot to hold on. Whereas particularly these bigger ones, there's a lot more to hold on to. So it's a little easier. Mitigation of recoil. Even though this is a harder round that's going to be shooting, you do have a lot more gun, a lot more firearm to hold on. It's a lot more weight on the slide, so that recoil management, the gun is doing a lot of it. Versus this, you know, people tend to say 380s are a little bit snappy because the gun is smaller, it's plastic, it's lighter, so that round going off can be a little bit snappier and, you know, sometimes harder to control. So again, those are all pros and cons to it. It all depends on what kind of purpose and how you're going to use it for you. You know, is the 380 an inefficient round? No way, by no means. Does it have the stopping power of a 40 Smith & Wesson? Yeah, absolutely. It's less. But, you know, very effective if you know what you're doing. And I think that's the overall you know, choice of the end user. So, you know, it's a little topic that I kind of wanted to talk about. You know, some people, you know, when I go to the range, I hear people going in there and asking, oh, you know, I kind of want to go in with the 380, and that was what they were looking for. But, you know, yeah, I see some clerks kind of pushing a bigger gun on somebody, right? And that's kind of what I want to, you know, make sure you guys understood, is that a bigger gun doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be better than this smaller gun, right? Because ultimately, how you handle that firearm is more important. If you're looking for something small because you wanted to carry it a little bit more discreet, you know, don't let somebody talk you into something like this or bigger. Somebody talked to me into a Glock 19, and I'm not going to knock a Glock 19. I think it's probably one of the best firearms in the world. For me, the end user, it didn't fit my need. It was great, and it would have been a great self-defense firearm, but I have a lot of other 9mm guns that I shoot better and I shoot well. So it didn't fit my need. Was I gonna carry it? I felt it was a little too big for the kind of carrying that I wanted to do. So for end user, it wasn't like that. A bunch of my friends have the Glock 42, right, which is a 380. And it's a great firearm. So small, you can carry it. It's discreet, out of the way, and it has good round capacity, and it can do what's intended to do, protect you. So again, don't think because you want a small firearm, you're doing something wrong, and vice versa. You know, don't think because you're getting a bigger firearm, it's going to be that more effective. You know, you also have to put the work into it. If you don't practice, if you don't train, if you don't get out there to the range, this is a hammer that just weighs a lot more than this one. It's a tool. Make sure the tool is serving the purpose of what you're looking for. Hopefully this information was useful for you guys. If you guys found it good, please smash that like button. Share it with somebody if you think that this information can help them out or giving them a better decision on this. Let me know in the comment section below, you know, what's your go-to? Are you getting a fuller size handgun, smaller, compact? What's your choice? Does size matter to you? I'd like to know that in the comment section below. But thank you guys again for joining me on this ride. We're closer to 3,000. But until next time, I'll see you guys later.